let's talk about RIZIN in their stacked year, their relationship with Bellator, and what we have coming up. I mean, for me, I think this was the most stacked year for RIZIN ever. What do you think, John?
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's it just gets better. It's just getting better and better and better. The
Yeah,
lineups are getting more stacked. The names are getting bigger. They're creating stars.
yeah.
They're creating stars and it's working out for them. You know, some promotions they try to create certain stars. It doesn't work out for them, but for Ryzen, it has worked out for them. From
What they're
the
doing
Asakura
is just
brothers,
organic.
yeah, Asakura brothers. You got Manel Cape. You
Yeah.
know, the bantamweight division is just stacked. It's crazy what they have created in the bantamweight division. And if you follow that promotion, you would know that. You know, I don't have to explain to the person that's following Ryzen, but yeah,
Every fight is a high quality, high level fight when RIZIN does a
mm,
card.
yeah, it is. It is. It is. Even their so-called smaller shows
Mm,
have sick matchups. They always bring in like 2, 3 sick matchups every single time, and sometimes some of the fights surprise you. Like, you don't think it's a good matchup, and then they get in that ring and that Japanese dude be like, "Hadaga and then they start fighting.
yeah.
That's what a lot of people love. They love that they do it in Japanese. You know,
I
like the announcers are Japanese, they say everything in Japanese, which is fun.
And I think that's definitely one of the keys, and they have great English commentary, don't get me wrong, but the fact that it is a Japanese promotion, that it's, it has that it has a little bit of that throwback feel of Pride. Pride never die, but,
Mm.
there's something just, really sweet about it, something really nice about RIZIN, and they've done some things on the marketing side that are great, and they've really promoted good fights and good fighters, and they might not be household names to everyone, but they are fantastic fights.
Yeah, and, um, let's go back to the pronunciation of the promotion, okay? Like, the
Say Ri
first show,
Risen.
Ryzen. Ryzen is the proper way to pronounce it. A lot of people say Risen, and, let me give you an example of why it's not Risen.
Okay.
I think it was the 5th or 6th show, they had a commentator come on, right?
Mhm.
And, uh, and he was saying Risen through the whole show, the English commentary. This was before, Frank Trigg and everybody, right? And he was fired, I think. Let me don't quote me on that, but I feel like he was fired for saying the promotion the wrong way. I'm
They
just
chopped
saying. I'm just saying. Huh?
they chopped the tip of his pinky off as well.
Yeah, they did. I think so, man. Like, you never saw that guy again, man. Like, but I'm just saying, you could say whatever the way you want it. I'm just saying,
No,
like, you
Rising.
know.
I've been saying it wrong for years. I need to say it not Risen, but Rising.
Yeah, but you say whatever way you want, man. This is a free country,
I don't
I
wanna lose
think.
my pinkies, bro. I'm gonna say Rising. And let's talk about their relationship with Bellator, and that's produced
Mhm.
some very interesting matchups and some very interesting events.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming up this weekend. You got Bellator Japan.
Yeah,
Uh,
back to back.
man, yeah, and Rampage versus Fedor. A lot of people are like, "Oh, these guys are super old," but hey, they're there to fight.
I don't care if those 2 are 60, I would go to that fight.
They're there to fight. Like, they're gonna go in there and they're gonna try to knock each other out, and that's what people want to see. They don't want to
Absolutely.
see no strategic matchup between Fedor and Rampage. That's not what they're gonna bring. You're not gonna see Fedor come in and stay on the outside and jab his way to a decision. That's not what's gonna happen, and that's why they put this fight together.
Houston and Alexander, you don't wanna see that fight. You wanna see 2 guys who are gonna come out and throw bombs.
Exactly, and that's what's gonna happen. I think the fight will be over in like the first minute.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen, and that's what people want.
Who's your pick for that fight?
I'm picking Fedor. I like Fedor, but
I think
Rampage.
Rampage
I
is a
heard
good fighter.
Rampage is the fresher fighter, and I was reading something about how he's put on like so much muscle in the last
Yeah, I think he's
uh
gonna be
in,
bigger than.
yeah, and he's been working with TJ Dillashaw's coach.
Oh, so he's on EPO.
I don't know, but that's what
Car-
I've seen pictures.
he's gonna be twice the size muscularly. He's gonna have cardio like a marathoner.
What if he comes in looking like Bob Sapp, just the
That'd be
reverse?
Bob Zappa can take a punch.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there's a lot of good fights on there. You got like Sydney Outlaw versus Michael Chandler.
Yep.
Uh, you got Yamauchi
Yep.
versus Darren Cruikshank. That's a very interesting matchup right there.
Yeah.
Uh,
King versus what's her name? Van Zant.
Yeah, Van Zant, you know, the rematch, like
Yeah.
Van Zant went in there and submitted her, choked her out unconscious in the first round or first fight, and now she gets the rematch. I think Reina wanted that fight, so they're gonna give it to her. I
Reina.
think you picking your poison right there. You know, the girl came in and you should have took a little bit more time, but you
I
know, they're
agree.
fighters. They
I
want
think it's
revenge.
a good fight for Reina. It's a fight that I think she can lose easily.
Yeah, definitely.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So that's gonna be a stack up. When are you flying out?
Oh, Saturday morning.
Nice.
Flying Saturday. You know, I got another job too, so you know, I gotta work today. Today's Friday, so I gotta work tonight and then wake up probably around 3 a.m., catch the airport bus at 4 a.m., get on my flight, and then land probably early morning in Japan or in Tokyo.
Nice.
So that's the plan.
Now, what do you think of? Do you think the Bellator Risen relationship will develop into something more for Asia going forward? Do you think it's really just going to be like a kind of like a here and there thing?
It's gonna start slow. You know, Bellator and Ryzen, this relationship, this is the first show
Yeah,
in this collaboration. So I think it's gonna start slow. Maybe in 2020 they'll have like 2 or 3 shows, you know? I'm pretty sure they're gonna have more than 1. And and this is a way for Ryzen to expand out of Japan.
yeah,
You know, I think that they love being in Japan, but they wanna expand. They wanna take over, you know, and what's the better way to take over other than to collaborate with Bellator, you know, who wants to get into the Asian market
so this is the thing.
and who
I
has
don't
money.
think Risen wants to be in the US. I think they want their brand to be
No, it's not
known.
about the US.
No.
It's not about US. It's about Ryzen expanding in Asia
Yeah.
and and Bellator expanding into Asia, but not by themselves. Because this is what Bellator always does. They always collab
Yeah.
with the promotions in the region, right? But this is another level of collaboration because Ryzen already has a massive following,
Mm,
viewership, and it helps both. Like you said, they're not you don't think they're gonna go to North America, and that probably will happen once in a while, but it's not their main focus. And Bellator or Ryzen wants to be more known in North America, and this is the way to do it, right? Is to hold
yeah.
hands with
I think
Bellator without
they're
actually going.
partnering with Bellator. They can be better known in the US without having to actually go there and be
Yeah, yeah,
subject to a commission.
yeah. That's great, man. That's perfect. Perfect situation for them.
That's what Pride never had, and I think that's what Pride probably needed.
Well, it's the same guys that ran Pride that run Ryzen, so you
No,
got to learn
no.
from your mistakes.
Let's hope they learn from those mistakes.